What's up, family? I'm Real Mike Rob. Make sure you tuning in to the 3-point conversion radio. They got all of it, and they keep it funky. Let's get it.
How y'all doing this evening?
Doing all right.
Good.
Could you talk a little bit about just what it felt like to be back in a live game action, able to push your buddy again?
Yeah, it felt great. I think it's the first time since it's that New Orleans game last year that we played together, and even that we're still trying to get used to just being in the NFL, all that. So to be back, work the whole off season, OTAs, camp, all that, and then get to play together tonight. It was great. I thought you did a good job. Both of us, obviously, you're still building and working through some stuff, and always things we can get better at. But I thought it was a good night.
He said that he did think a little bit about the old days, just for a brief time tonight. I'm just wondering if that thought even crossed your mind at any point.
I mean, not necessarily that. I think just that relationship that we have really comes out, especially in the heat of the moment. We're just really comfortable around one another. If I see something that he might have missed or vice versa, we can just talk to each other between plays, and he's always really, accepting of whatever I got to say. Hey, if it's whatever, I'll run play, stick to the gap, or he's got the balance, whatever it is, just talking about it. He's a great listener. I think he does a good job with all that.
Trevor, how important was it, to get a touchdown on that final drive after a field goal was the first two?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the goal, to end with a touchdown. Helps a lot when you can turn those field goals into touchdowns, get those extra points. So for us to finish that way, obviously we had two opportunities and didn't really finish in the red zone, so it was nice to get that and finish the right way. Obviously, I think overall we played pretty well those first three series. There's, like I said, always some things to clean up, and we'll watch the tape and get better, but I thought the guys were ready, played fast, and that's the biggest thing. Guys were playing fast, getting open. I thought they did a good job.
It seems like you and Zay Jones have just been really clicking the last couple of days, and then tonight. What is it about him and his skill set that's just made him such a big target for you? I
just think his feel for the game. Also, his speed. He's got good size, really fast guy. First play of the game, kind of beat the guy over the top with the double move there. So just great. I think also too, really physical with the catch. Similar to Marvin in that way. I see those guys are really good going up, making the tough catches. And then just a guy that understands how to run routes, get open. They might not all look the same, but he's gonna find a way. I think he has a great feel for it.
Hey Trevor, we know that you're a guy who can throw from the pocket, but we saw a lot of times tonight that you were getting the rollouts, the boots, the waggles. Are those play designs that really make you feel comfortable and make you feel like you have a chance to have big success on the ground or through the air?
For sure. I think that's one of the things that I think I do well. It's getting on the move outside of the pocket, making plays, extending plays, but also design, nakeds, boots, whatever you want to call them. I think that's something that I do well and that all of us do well. The receivers up front, tight ends, all those guys. So I think it's something that we're going to keep building off of.
Trevor, I know we asked you about it over here. I know we asked you about it on Monday, but seeing Travis back out there, knowing obviously he's coming off an injury, knowing he wants to go 100%. Emotions for you seeing him back on the field tonight?
Yeah, it's just great to see him back out there. Obviously, it's been a long time since he's played. He's had a rough year. Just you look at last year wasn't the easiest year for anyone, but then on top of that, he's hurt and rehabbing and not really as much a part of the team as you'd like to be in your rookie season. So I know that was tough for him, but just seeing how he's fought back and rehabbed really hard to get back and be 100%. I think he looks great. Obviously, he's still kind of getting back in the rhythm of things because he hasn't played in so long. But just to see the plays he made tonight, that catch he made, ran a great route, catch he made on the sideline, cut up the field. He had some great plays. He's gonna help us a lot.
Trevor, working through camp and all that leading to this first game and getting on the drive there, opening up the game first quarter or whatever it was, is there anything that you applied there that helped the offense go well that you've been working on through camp that you could sort of see come to fruition there during your efforts there?
You said the first drive?
Well, just the first quarter in general.
Okay.
Something out there that you guys executed that you had been working through camp to concentrate on as a focus.
There's a lot of things you work on. So many details every day, corrections from practice, all those things. But I think just you could see the communication just that we've had through camp has been great with all the skill guys up front too, but specifically in the passing game. all the skill guys, we communicated really well. So I think you kind of see that we're getting more and more in sync, and I got a feel for when guys are going to slow down on a window or, you know, all those things. So I think you saw that tonight, and like I said, there's always going to be things that where you watch it and you're like, hey, I want you to do this, or I was expecting this, and you correct it. But I thought tonight we were on the same page for the most part.
Apologies if this has been asked, but considering it's the first time you guys were together, the cleanness of sort of all the operational stuff, no penalties, everything seemed to work right. I mean, was that impressive, just considering it's the first time?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's the first step, is you can't shoot yourself in the foot. You know, I thought Coach did a great job getting the calls in and out of the huddle. You know, and then there's always going to be times when you're kind of behind the play clock and you got to speed up. And I thought throughout camp we've done a good job of working that, and guys getting to their spot quick and being able to line up and go when you need to, because you're going to have to be able to do that. So tonight we had a couple of those that we had to do and execute, and ended up having a positive play, and then. No false starts, holds, any of that stuff. That's huge. You can't hurt yourself.
Trevor, a couple of throws sailed on you in the first possession, and after the big one today, and then didn't move the ball after the fumble. But on that last possession, everything seemed to click perfectly. Was there something you guys talked about on the sidelines before you got that last stop?
Not really. I mean, I had I missed Zay over the middle. I guess that was probably the first one that sailed. Missed him over the middle, just probably a foot too high. We talked about, I thought he did a great job adjusting his route, all that. So that was good to see. Just missed him, and then a couple things down in the red zone. We had Evan, I think, down there, and one I threw to Laquan down low on the goal line. Probably could have hit him back in the end zone. So a couple little things I missed, but just clean those up. And obviously that 3 and out, we want to eliminate. You get the ball in the 25 or 30 or whatever it was, and you want to be able to punch it in from there. And I think that's probably the biggest thing of where we stalled out, where we want to correct that, is let's at least get down there tighter. Let's get a touchdown there when we already got the ball up plus 30. So other than that, finish strong like we talked about earlier.
And I know in preseason games, a lot of coaches will tend to go for that 4th down play instead of taking the field goal. But do you think during the season, do you hope Doug gambles on those situations?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's it just depends on the game, the score, the situation, all those things play into it. I know he's the type of guy that will if need be. So, and that's obviously great if you have that trust in one another, where he trusts us to go get it and we trust him to call it in that situation. But it just depends on the game. If you field goal's going to work and that's what you need to secure those 3 points, do it. But if we're playing really well, then we'll see where it goes. So I think it depends on the game and the situation.
Trevor, I know the coaches make the final decision, but for next week, what are you anticipating as far as play time is concerned?
Yeah, I try not to anticipate too much. Just kind of prepare the same way, be ready to play the whole game. That's what I did this week. I prepared, the whole, the call sheet, the way I prepared myself, my communication with Coach Peterson and the press and Coach McCoy. All of them was just preparing everything like I'm going to play the whole game. Like, we had more ammo than we needed because we only played a quarter, but still, I think that's good practice for everyone to prepare that way. So I'm going to do the same thing, and whether it's a quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, whatever it is next week, we'll be ready to go, and just similar to tonight, let's just execute, be clean, and feel good about it and come out of it.
Trevor, back here, sorry. The offensive line seemed to give you some good protection today, especially on that first play. Throw to Zay, you had a lot of time to see that play develop. How do you think they're performing? Kind of a new look offensive line for you, and specifically Luke Fortner as well.
They did a great job. Really, all camp they've done a really good job just communicating. Obviously, got a rookie center, so he's done a phenomenal job of just learning the system. Really smart guy, so he's done a great job there. And then to have, like I've said before, Sheriff and Shalley on both sides to help him out. 2 guys that have played a lot of football. That helps. And I think just that whole group is really close, and you can see in the way they play, they communicate. And tonight just really clean. Obviously, as this goes on, we start the regular season, you're going to see more complex game plans from the defense. In preseason, it's usually pretty vanilla, but still, just to see those guys protect well in a lot of known passing situations, you're going to get guys best rushes and held up great. So it's good to see.
Hey Trevor, not really specific to tonight's game, but how difficult has it been, or has it been difficult at all for you to learn this brand new system coming in this season as opposed to last year?
I mean, shoot, at this point, I feel obviously great with it, but I would say at first, obviously, there's little things that, you know, don't, I guess, come easy when you're learning the offense, but that was back in the, you know, spring when you're learning it. So we had plenty of time. I think the way that we installed it was great, you know, installed everything multiple times throughout different phases of OTAs and then into camp. So at that point, we'd have seen everything 3 or 4 times. So they did a great job planning it from that standpoint, but just, yeah, I mean, I tried to get on it really early, so by the time definitely camp, I mean OTAs, but especially camp comes around, I really know it well. And obviously there's little wrinkles you're changing, and now it's at the point where I'm adding more and more input of what I like, or, you know, what I want on the backside of this or whatever it is. So I think we're building it, and it's been great. I really love the system.
Earlier it was mentioned the big play that you had to start the game, the 32-yard pass to Zay Jones. As a quarterback, how does it feel to be able to uncork a long one, you know, right out of the gate like that?
Yeah, it felt great. You know, we had that planned, and first play of the game, obviously taking a shot, you want to execute it, get some momentum. Did a great job. Zay actually got kind of held coming out of the break, so it was good to see him fight through the contact and go make the catch. So it's always great when you can start that way, get some momentum, get on the ball, and get them on their heels right away.
Thanks, Trevor.
Yeah, thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you.